Hi, it's Maxine, Kaye, and Yoga from the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. Really happy to be with you today here in Pennsylvania. It's a soft day. Cloudy, it had a little mist earlier, a little fog, the sun's trying to come through. Every day is different, and every day is wonderful. So, I know you've heard us speak about our birds that we enjoy so much. Reverend Mike makes sure that he feeds those birds and he keeps the feeder filled with food for them, or else they go on strike, and they let him know that Papa Mike's birdie buffet is getting low. So they're so entertaining. We have so many different kinds. We're still learning to identify them. We have swallows and barn finches and woodpeckers and mourning doves and quite a few others, and they're really wonderful. But it's an interesting thing. I tend to anthropomorphize things and animals and even inanimate objects. One thing I have never anthropomorphized is God, because I know that God is not some man up in the sky, but a divine love and energy and wisdom. And we have so many things that I like to name. And in fact, my car is Sophia Solara, because she's wise. Sophia means wisdom in Greek. So I anthropomorphize things. I seem to be anthropomorphizing the birds. And as I'm doing that, it seems as though I'm learning how to, I just got distracted, excuse me. I'm learning things about myself and about our humanity. What I have noticed is, I may have shared this before, I think I may have done it in a Sunday talk, that we had parent birds who would fly up to the feeder. It's on a chain in the patio, and so the bird has to be able to fly up to it, hang on, which they do quite well, and feed. Well, for a while we had parent birds, and their teenage children, whatever they are in bird world, would fly up with them, and they'd sit on the railing, and the parents would take turns taking some of the feed. Yoga says, if you're going to talk about birds, I'm leaving. Okay, baby, thank you. And they would take some of the feed and put it in the big children's mouths. And they were big. They were the same size by now as their parents. But still, they were insisting on being fed. And then I noticed that the parent birds were actually teaching them how to fly up and reach the source and find their own seeds without being fed by mom and dad. So they went through this process, and it was fascinating to watch them. They were becoming mature enough to learn how to find the food to feed themselves. The next thing that happened was that the birds that were grown up enough now to feed on the feeder themselves would fuss with each other. When one was on the it's a little enclosure that has the seed in it, and there'd be one on the enclosure, and then another one would fly up, and they'd battle about it instead of realizing that there's enough for both of them, that 3 or 4 of them could actually feed at the same time with a little bit of cooperation. Well, they finally got over that. I've noticed now that they sometimes, the same ones seem to be, I haven't named them, I don't go that far, but they will fly up on the feeder, and they will get along fine. There'll be a couple of them, sometimes 3 of them, and they get along just fine. Well, that's so great, and I thought, okay, we're making progress here, like we're learning how to get along better in the world of humanity. Then here comes the next phenomenon. There's always something else to notice and to learn from. What I noticed this morning was there was a large bird. I'm not sure if it was a swallow or if it was trying to be a jay, but what it was the king of the hill. It landed on top of the feeder and it fed while all the other birds are trying to get up there, and this guy or girl, I don't know, would yell at it, whoever was trying to get up there, and chase it away like, this is mine, I'm the king of the hill, I have privilege. I'm up here, you're down there, that's where you belong, I belong up here. And what I noticed about it was, it wasn't just about having a lion's share, is that appropriate for a bird analogy? Having a lion's share of the food. It was about, I'm in charge and you're not. And I noticed that some of the birds would eventually wait it out and just wait on the railing and eat some of the seeds that would be dropped down from the feeder. Some of them were actually then down on the floor of the patio, taking the seeds there and accepting their subservient role, as they were being dominated, as they were being controlled by one egotistical bird. You see how I anthropomorphize? I don't know if that's really what it's about or not, but it looked like that to me. Now, can we extrapolate here? Can we begin to get the idea that sometimes we often, too often, we have put people in classes? Not exactly a caste system, but something like that, where whoever is in charge, whoever is there at the feeder is in charge and in control, and not just receiving what he or she needs, but making sure that nobody else gets it because they're in charge. You and I are in the process of changing a terrible system of inequality. And we're not going to be mad at the birds on the top who decide to be the boss. Rather, we're going to move to higher ground. We're going to recognize that there is the ability within each and every one of us to move away from the ego-centered, I've got to get mine and you can't have yours, into there is one source. It is the life of God itself. And that life is just as essential, as beautiful, as radiant, as important within everyone else as it is within me. When we enter deeply, dive deeply into that place of real unity, then we move to a place of a true heart's desire for everybody to have what they need and what they desire to live their lives fully and completely. You and I are in the midst of being the agents of change. And as we are the agents of change, we recognize that we have a responsibility, and it's a joyous responsibility because we can make a difference in a world that truly has been broken. And so we're mending it, but we're doing much more than mending it. We're not just fixing. It's not about Band-Aids. It's about listening to each other with our hearts. It's about working together to co-create a new vision of a world that truly does work for all. One of compassion, one of radiant being, one in which we honor and respect every sentient being and our planet itself. So I seem to have left talking and gone to preaching. and so I just want to say I'm so grateful that we're all working together to make a beautiful difference in our lives and to not be bird-brained. Thank you for indulging me in my anthropomorphizing, but I seem to get lessons from it. I get gifts from it. And if there's anything in there that's a gift for you, then I'm happy about that too. So please join us on Sunday morning for our live streams. We still go down to Sweet 16 on Sunday mornings, just Reverend Mike and I with our little production crew, which is amazing. and you tune into our website, cslphilly.org, and click on the link, and you can find yourself receiving that live stream at 10:30 on Sunday morning, and you can go to YouTube or to Facebook. And of course, it's archived, so you can look at it later if 10:30 is too early for you to get up on Sunday, especially if you live on the West Coast, which makes it 7:30, and we understand that. But they're still there for you to look at it. We have a wonderful time. We bring in our practitioners on video. We bring in our board members to do some very funny announcements. We bring in music videos, and we make it a party. It's a party for us, it's a party for you, and we're inviting you to join us. And there's also an opportunity on our website to donate, and it makes it easy. So check that out as well. We so appreciate your support, your prayer support, your financial support, your support in sharing the word and in doing your part to make this world a better place. And if you tune in tomorrow to our love notes, and they're all archived on our website as well, you will see Reverend Mike sharing something wonderful with you. And in fact, he'll tell you more tomorrow about this wonderful Science of Mind book study that he's starting this Saturday for just an hour a Saturday. And that's all I'm going to tease you with for now, because he has much more to share with you, and it'll be worth your time. So Yoga and Reverend Mike and I and all the birds who live here in Malvern with us bid you adieu and thank you for tuning in. Bye.